Dear students, welcome to the e-learning. This initiative has been taken by Cambridge International School, the Zoo. Hello, I am Nadeep, working as PGTIP here. So, students, in the series of e-learning sessions, today we'll start another topic in Python. So, hope you all are well at home and also take care of yourself along with your family members. Students, today we will go through a very important package of Python, that is NumPy. Clear? So NumPy is basically related to arrays. So we'll go into details today about the NumPy. Before we discuss the NumPy, let's have a look at what we have covered earlier. So in the last sessions we have covered what are the different data types, what are the operators, different operators in Python, what is expression is, precedence of operators, debugging, how to remove the bugs or not, but basically what are different types of bugs here. Then is the built-in functions and control statements, if else. Then we cover the looping, what is iteration is and how for loop is used for this. And then we cover two important data types, list and dictionary. Difference between list and dictionary is that list is a ordered data type and dictionary is a unordered data type. Moving forward, so students, in the last lecture, just to have a recap, we have covered the dictionary. Clear? So basically this consists of a key value pair that is called a item. So it's very important that we become familiar with the language of the object, that is what is a dictionary is and what is the language that is used here. So the most important element here is the key value pair that is called an item. Then we discussed how to create a dictionary. Clear? And another important thing is that a dictionary is a the elements here are we can change, they are the mutable elements over there. So that's another important property of dictionary. So here in this example you can see the first dict1 is the empty dictionary. Then we created another dictionary with the dict3, and here where we were having items Mohan, and with this Mohan is acting as a key and 95 is the value. Similarly, this combined together, Mohan is a key and 95 is a value, so combined together it becomes a one item. So it is having 1, 2, 3 and 4 items here. Clear? So similarly, next is Ram is acting as a key and 85 is this value. So that's why this is called key value pair is called a item. So we have displayed here the elements of the or items of the dictionary here. So another is like from the curly brackets are basically used for dictionary. Now the important thing is NumPy. What is NumPy? So basically NumPy stands for numerical Python. What is NumPy stands for numerical Python. So it is a package for data analysis and scientific computing with Python. So basically it is used for analysis purpose and for scientific calculations. NumPy uses a multi-dimensional object. So that is the key area of the NumPy multi-dimensional array. So you might have studied the two-dimensional array, three-dimensional matrices in mathematics also. Clear? So similarly, the multi-dimensional array object is represented by NumPy, and this has functions and tools for working with these arrays. The powerful n-dimensional array in NumPy speeds up the data processing. So it is used for n-dimensional also, and it basically NumPy basically speeds up the processing speed. NumPy can be easily interfaced with other Python packages like pandas, Clear? So we can use it with different interfaces also, and provides the tools for integrating with other programming languages like C and C++. So it provides certain tools by which we can integrate with the other programming languages like C, C++, Java, and so on. So this is a very powerful tool of Python. Students, that if you are not using a Jupyter notebook, so then this is the command to install the NumPy on your system. Pip install NumPy, that I have already underlined here in this presentation. So this is the command for installing NumPy. So we have talked about the n-dimensional array. So students, first we need to clarify what is an array is. So we have till now we have learned about the different data types like list, tuple, dictionary. We'll discuss another data type, that is array. What is array? An array is a data type that is used to store multiple values using a single identifier, or basically the single identifier is basically our variable name. An array contains an ordered collection of data elements. We have already gone through list. List was a ordered collection of data elements where each element is of same type. So the data type of the element should be same and can be referenced using its index value or their positional value. Clear? So we'll focus on the index value also, because this is very crucial part, and it will be used in a big way in the advanced lectures of Python. Now, what are the characteristics of an array? Each element of the array is of same data type. That's very important, that all the elements should be of the same data type. We'll take up the examples also on the Jupyter notebook. Though the values stored in them may be different. So values can be different, but their data type should be same. The point number 2 is the entire array is stored continuously in memory. So the another feature of array is that all the elements of array are stored inside the memory in a continuous memory location. That's why the operations becomes faster in case of a array, because all the elements are stored at a continuous memory locations. Finally, each element of the array is identified or referred using the name of the array along with the index of that very element, which is unique for each element. So index will be unique for each element. The index of an element is an integral value associated with the element based on the element's position in the array. So students, the points that we have discussed, you all will see that in the practical part also. So index, important point we have covered. Another is that the elements stored should be of same data type, and internally the elements are stored in the continuous memory locations. Moving forward, so we'll just take up a basic example and then we will move to the Jupyter notebook. So here you can see that I have a one-dimensional array with me, and you see the 5 elements are there. So here the first value in the array is 10 and has the index value 0. So the element 10 is having the index value 0. The second value in the array is basically 9, you can see, and has the index value 1. And so on, like 99 will be having the index value 2, 71 will be having the index value 3, 90 will be having the index value 4, like this. So this phenomena is also called zero-based indexing. Zero-based because the first element starts with the 0 index value. So very important and tricky, because generally we say the first element and its index value is 0. So be careful about this point. And another point we can say that the arrays, the same way the list elements we used in the previous lecture, they were also accessed in the same way using their index value. Next, moving on to the NumPy. What is a NumPy array? So NumPy array are used to store list of numerical data, vectors and matrices. NumPy library has a large set of built-in functions for creating, manipulating and transforming NumPy arrays. So it has a very rich library and it provides so many built-in functions that help us in creating, manipulating uh, and transforming the Python NumPy arrays. Python language also has an array data structure, but it is not as versatile and efficient as we have NumPy array. NumPy array is officially called ND array. ND array is basically n-dimensional number of dimensions. So that's why this is called multi-dimensional array, but commonly known as array. So students, now we have become familiar with the language of NumPy. Now it's time to go for how to create a NumPy array from a list. So we'll do this first practical. So now move to the Jupyter notebook. In the Jupyter notebook, our first step is create an array from the given list. So starting with the first practical, we name it as array1, and you see NumPy of we use here array, and we enter the elements 10, 20 and that's 30. And students, very vital step before this, import the package, import NumPy as np. This is very important because the array is a object of this NumPy np. Clear? So that has been referenced here, and then you can print for display. You see here how we can display. Just type array1 and run this one. So this star means that this will take a bit time. The processing is going on, and soon you will see the result here. So students, it's very important to import the NumPy, because before that, because we are referencing to the NumPy package function, so this will not function till we import this in our program. So you see the first array we have. Clear? So now moving to creating one dimension array. The earlier one was also a one dimensional array. I am just taken another array just for to clarify the topic, and white out array. So now students, see here in this example I am taking numbers in quotes. So this makes that these numbers are not numbers, basically these are the string values. So this is very tricky part. Sometimes we get confused that these are the numbers, but when they are in quotes, so they are basically these strings. And now just go to the array2, and what happens that you just go to the run option, and you see all the, and their data type is, like you see that their data type is also mentioned u4. So this is for string. Similarly, now students, moving to the next very important part, creating a two-dimensional array that contains rows and columns. So here we have array, now I named as array3. So np dot array, and now we start with the rows. First vectors we'll be using here. So first row elements are like 1 and 2, and then second row elements, let's say 4 and and 4, and let's say next elements of the third row are, let's say, 5 and 6. So we have closed the brackets carefully. Now array 3, to print this one, just go to the run option. So you see here we have basically 3 rows. Here each row is containing 2 elements, so that's we say that columns. So it is having 2 columns and 3 rows. Now students, next what we can do, the attribute of NumPy array. We can apply different attributes. Attributes of NumPy array. So like we apply, let's say, first array1 dot ndim. That is ndim is for n dimension. So this will give us how many dimension it has. So array1, you see this was the array1. So this is having only one dimension. Clear? So because it is having a row only, clear, single row. It is not having multiple rows. Similarly, you can see the array3 dot ndim. So here you can see in array3 we are having how many dimensions are there. Just go to the run option. So we are having 2 dimensions. One is for rows and second dimension is for columns. Clear? That's why this is called 2-dimensional array. We have already listed over there that this is a 2-dimensional array with rows and columns. Now applying, students, the other attributes of the array. So let's say we want to see the array1 shape. So run this one. So 3. So it is containing in the first dimension 3 elements. You can see here the same for array2 also, array2 dot shape. So this is having 4 elements. Similarly, you can see the array3. Run this one, and you see here it is having 3 rows and 2 columns. Clear? So this is the shape attribute basically works for NumPy. It gives us the how many rows and columns are there in the array. Similarly, we have another is array size. Array1 dot size. So this will give us the size of the array. Just run this one. So it is having 3 elements are there. Similarly, you can see array3 size. Just go to the run option. Clear? And you see it is having how many elements are there? 6. So this is returned by the size attribute of the NumPy. Similarly, students, we can see the, if we want to see the data type, array1 dot d type. So means that what is the type of the elements of the array. You just run this one. So all the elements are of integer type. Similarly, you can run this for array2. So we see that in array2 we have the elements of, in array2 we have the elements of string type. Clear? And finally we can see the data type of the array3. So you run this one. So you can see that the array elements are of again integer type. So if you have any element for the different type like float type, so this will give a different data type. Clear? So now students, we have one more manipulation attribute, that is, you see array1 dot item size. So what does the item size means here? Just run this one. So you see item size, it is returning 4. So what does this means, students? I will mention a comment here that it means that memory allocated to the integer. Clear? So similarly you can see the like array 2 dot item size. So you run this one. So you see that now it is appearing 16 because this is what the memory is allocated for strings. So this is these are the few basically manipulators we have discussed, attributes of the NumPy array. So few of the attributes of NumPy array we have discussed, and I have already discussed that NumPy package is having a huge library for built-in functions, and we have just applied a few of them just for the understanding purpose. So students, my humble request to you is that you basically practice all these functions and you get familiar with the NumPy array. So at the end of the lecture, hope you have find the session interesting. So on the behalf of Cambridge International School, Dasua, I thank you all for attending the session. Thank you. Thank you.